Hi guys, how are you? How have you been? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to remind the people who have never subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the red button there. Today I'm going to be a bit political. In the last discussion which I had here, it was about politics, but I maintained my scope to the county politics. But today I want to give my views for the national politics, since we are just about to have elections come August. So in this regard, as a Kenyan, I am entitled to give my view regarding and which position should this country take come August. First of all, allow me to congratulate the deputy aspirants for presidents who went debate yesterday. The debate is all over the social media. There were expectations which were exceeded, because when you visualize this debate before it happened, we knew that Martha Karua has gone on record and many times coming out very strongly in the national debate. But when you bring in the businessman regarding Gachagua, many Kenyans did not expect that the discussion would take the direction it took. So allow me in a special way to congratulate Rigathi Gachagua for very wise and intelligent debate which he had yesterday. He proved to the Kenyans that it is the bottom-up model that is going to build the economy for this country. If you followed well on the debates, it was very clear that the Kenyan economy as per now, what is going to heal the populations and the economic crisis in Kenya is a change or a shift in our economic spectrum, in the whole ecosystem, as much as our finances and our economy is concerned. It was very evident that the side of the Azimio, who were represented by Martha Karua, they did not have a manifesto on how to build the economy of Kenya. Even though much of the discussions which were there yesterday, they focused on corruption, which can be said is something to celebrate. But all the same, corruption is still a problem in this current government. When you check on the prices, for instance, the cost of life is critically high in Kenya, that even accessing basic needs, food, shelter and clothing, is problematic. So what I'm saying is that the government which is coming should come with new ideas. The government which should take after August, after the Jubilee government, should have a new ideas. But when you check on what we have on the Azimio side, having the president being on that side, it is obviously tell you that the role of the Azimio government is to protect the legacy of the president. This means that there will not be any change which we can think about, because there is no change in ideologies which govern the country. And even so, there are many pending corruption issues in the country. We cannot smile when we look behind on the corridors of justice and the rule of law in this country. So the coming government must be deliberate to make sure that the rule of law is supreme. It is a time when we have had many court orders being ignored, where a country has become like a marketplace, where the voices from the lawyers or from the judiciary is deemed as noise, and the court orders like toilet papers, that is not the government which as Kenyans we esteem for. So therefore, come August, we need change, and the change which Kenyans need, on my side, I think it is on the UDA party under Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who have consolidated a concrete manifesto, a manifesto that looks on the economic framework of the country to change the flow of resources from the central government, so that we limit, we reduce the space between the rich of all the bigger economies, middle and the low economy, so that as a country we may move ahead together. Just to add on all these things, for instance, when you look on the regional politics, because we know that our country has been divided a lot by tribalism, when they tell us that they want to earn positions of power to accommodate different leaders from different tribes, this is like instituting tribalism, which should never be discussed on the soil of Kenya. We need to appreciate diversity. Our political system is competitive. Why can't we have the aspirants from whatever party going to compete equally, and whoever wins carry the government of the day? And when they tell us that the problems of Kenya is because we don't have enough leaders, I don't think that rests well with the status quo. So come August, I just want to appeal to all Kenyans to vote in Dr. William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua to show us where this nation is supposed to be. Because if we fail and elect Raila Odinga, it is the same government. The president, Uhuru Kenyatta, will remain using the proxies, and it will mean the Kenyans will have a lot of burden to carry in terms of tax payments and such. And again, as a matter of fact, leadership and age, they go hand in hand. Raila Odinga, I know that he has done a lot for this country, and he has been consistent to fight for public interest. But of course, I think his age has come to a place where he cannot think beyond the status quo. That's why you see he compromised his cause for justice when he entered into marriage with the current government. He would be very strong if he maintained his cause and fight corruption from outside. Why is he silent? Why is he silent nowadays, even though the cost of life has gone too high? Because the mouth full of food cannot manage to speak. So it is to say, Mr. Odinga, it's time for him to retire honorably and be respected as a grandson of this nation, because your contribution to this country is unmatched. But age acts on anyone. So it is time you go home, and we will remember you as we remember other gallant sons of this soil. Let us usher in new, energetic leaders who are going to show us the future. We don't need to risk any further. We need people who can think in terms of economic liberation. 6,000, which Azimio is using to campaign. When you see leaders telling people that they will give them money, or the citizens promising citizens funds, this shows the scarcity of ideas. You should think about adding value to what's available, not just supplying loans or supplying grants to the citizens. This is something which is not viable. It's something which is not attainable. It's just put there to attract voters. What we need is not just a few changes or some mere changes in the constitution to allow many people to get in. We need changes in the economic spectrum of the nation, and that is well stipulated and integrated in the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza. On the side of Wanjakoya, I have very little to say. It is clear that his manifesto is meant from the politics or economics of financing, as much as the David of Wanjakoya trying to defend the manifesto. there are still many issues to be discussed about marijuana and wildlife harvesting. I think it is time to think outside the box, but the time for this kind of arguments about trend for some parts of some animals, I think that is not what we want to hear at a time like now. Let us know how we are going to deal with corruption, and whatever we propose, let it be viable. Let us not just say that we are going to hang people and then we don't think about how we are going to manage this. Let us know how we are going to strengthen the institutions. For instance, the court, even the electoral commission. We need to think about how we are going to decolonize the system so that all the institutions are going to deliver their mandate without being controlled by the executive. The ministers have to be given freedom to serve or to do their roles without being directed. That's what happened during the time of Kibaki, and this is the time when the economy peaked. But when you check the inflation which has come in Kenyan economy, especially in the last span of President Kenyatta, in the last term, it has not been well. The Kenyan shilling has continued to depreciate. This has affected Kenya greatly in the world economy. But changes have to be done. Citizens must come out in large numbers and vote in leaders who are going to transform the economy. Let us not vote in terms of tribal lines or some royal families. In Kenya is a democratic nation where the majority have a voice. So the power belongs to the people, not just to a few. Kenya is bigger than just few individuals. Kenya is bigger than me and you. Let us not miss the mark. Let us elect wisely and we shall be good. Thank you for listening.